Good morning, this is Patrick, Self-Taught Outdoors. I'm coming to you this morning doing some stuff outside before I have to head off to work. Because, well, I'm going to be stuck in a bathroom all day with no windows. You know, hey, the life of a remodeler, right? But I wanted to talk to you guys and address, the comments about homesteading. Why I've come to the conclusion that that's what I want to do. And just different ways that I've actually already started doing it that I never realized were what I was doing. So the modern day homesteading movement is not like the one in, I believe, the early 1900s, where the government gave you 160 acres as long as you built a house and lived there for 5 years. Modern day homesteading is more turning to self-reliance, where you're growing a garden, you're growing animals for food, and you're relying less on the grocery stores and everything for feeding yourself, or as well as just housing, all that kind of stuff, where you're doing as much as you can for yourself rather than hiring it out, so then you can enjoy life a little more and you're not having to work for that money to have stuff done. A lot of the people that are joining the homesteading movement are fairly successful business people, or just people that are tired of the daily grind. And boy, can I tell you, I'm tired of the daily grind. But it doesn't happen overnight. You've got to ease yourself into it, unless you are a rich person, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but look, it costs money. Everything costs money, and everything's gonna cost money. Nothing's free. Nobody owes you anything. So what you got to do is you got to make the best of it for yourself and for your family. So that's one of the reasons I grow a big garden. I enjoy the fresh produce, and I like the way it tastes a lot better than the store-bought stuff. My wife and I do canning and freezing of stuff. I usually butcher my own deer when I shoot them, and ducks and pheasants and rabbits and squirrels. So some of those things are ways to start going about it. But even if you don't have a house with a yard that you can grow a garden in, maybe you live in an apartment, there are plenty of techniques to growing produce on let's say your balcony, or inside your house near your windows. You're not gonna be pushing out a self-sustaining amount of food from an apartment, but every little bit helps, and you can get your feet wet doing the gardening in an apartment setting. Just get your feet wet, get used to dealing with plants, what soil moisture should feel like in your fingers. Take note of when you kill plants, and what you've been doing, and just take note of how you're doing stuff, because that's how you learn. And then you can come back later and say, oh, well, I watered it this day, and this day, because, well, I just thought it needed to be watered every day, and you drown the plant out. There are certain plants that like water and just moist soil all the time, and there's other plants that like drier soil and well-drained soil. So that's something that you need to look into. But with doing all this stuff, you're giving yourself projects to do that are more for you rather than more for your boss or more for the grocery store. I myself, I enjoy working on my cars when, well, everything goes easily, and it normally doesn't go easily. So at those points in time, I don't enjoy working on the car because, well, it means broken parts, and broken parts means more money that I gotta spend on different parts that I wasn't planning on replacing. But you know, I rarely ever get stranded anywhere because I have an intricate knowledge of my vehicles, and I have hands-on, and I'm always looking at them. You know, you hear a new knock or something, or a rattle, and you go through and you just diagnose it. A lot of the things that I use are, you know, website based. You know, you're looking at blogs, you're looking at forums. You know, the Chilton's books and the Hamilton books for your car are great things to start with to do some of your own maintenance. And I think anybody who's ready to start being self-sufficient should get themselves a small toolkit with some wrenches, some sockets, pliers, hammer, and start doing stuff for themselves, like, you know, changing your oil for your cars. You know, it takes a little bit of an investment because, well, you need ramps at least, you need an oil pan, you need to have ratchet sockets or wrenches, and a little bit of knowledge of, well, where the oil drain is. And maybe we'll do a small video on that at a later time. But this morning I gotta get back to doing some of this stuff outside and then head off to work. But I just wanted to pop in and say hey and let you guys know a little bit more about the homesteading. If you guys have any questions on it, just, you know, give a holler and I'll try and answer them best as possible. But this year we're gonna show the journey of hopefully going through and doing a homestead. You know, getting ourselves on the track to buying a homestead and moving out of town, because, well, that's something my wife and I would love more than anything in the world, is having our own piece of land that we can garden on and maybe even hunt on if I can, you know, stretch $1. So you guys have a great day and get out there and enjoy the outdoors. Talk to you later.